Today I'm ranking every single sniper in Fortnite, and we also are including DMRs on this list, and there's a lot of them. So let's start with the worst sniper ever. At number 24, it's the standard DMR. This was added in the game in Chapter 3. It had a super slow fire rate, and the damage wasn't even that crazy. It had 10 shots before you had to reload, and the recoil on every single shot was insane. All around, with the weapons that we had in Chapter 3, nobody was using this besides like a few console players here and there. At number 23, we have a slightly better version, the Cobra DMR. These weren't that much better, but they had a slightly higher fire rate. They had more bullets. Other than that, it was still pretty inaccurate to use. And even after buffing it, I would say it still belongs at number 23. At number 22, Epic thinks they figured it out with the tactical DMR. This is more average compared to the other ones. It was a balance between low damage and fast shooting shots. So it was still kind of bad, but it was definitely more effective at getting kills compared to the other DMRs on this list. At number 21, we have the Huntress DMR. This is just shocking because there's so many different versions of the DMR, but they're all so garbage in my opinion. This one was introduced in Chapter 5. You could at least put attachments on this one to make it a little bit different. It did have a lot of recoil. The shots were kind of hard to hit, but it did a little bit more damage. 65 body shot damage, over 100 headshot damage. I actually used this DMR in competitive for Storm Surge, so it did have a use, which is why it's not like last on this list. At number 20, we have the Thermal DMR. On paper, the stats don't really impress me with this one, but the thing about this DMR, besides it having a thermal capacity, is that it did shoot extremely fast. So it almost had no recoil with a really high fire rate and 20 bullets. So it was more like a scoped AR instead of a traditional DMR, which is why it's higher on this list. At number 19, we have the automatic sniper. This was added in Season X. This was not hit scan, making it pretty meh considering all the other Chapter 1 weapons were hit scan. It was very hard to control. It didn't do that much damage. And you were better off using a normal assault rifle, but it was just an okay weapon with an okay fire rate. But in Season X, there was a bunch of other weapons in the loot pool that were better to pick up. At number 18, we have the lever action rifle. This one was also underwhelming. It released in Chapter 2. Super inaccurate for a sniper. It only had 9 shots, but the body shot damage was pretty decent. The green one did 104 headshot. It was supposed to be similar to a hunting rifle, but you could shoot a lot more bullets before you had to reload. People ended up using like multiple lever action rifles, like using it like a double pump to actually make them effective. It basically was like a fast firing DMR, but without the scope. At number 17, we have the exotic boom sniper rifle. It's probably one of the worst exotics they added, but it was still somewhat useful. If you hit somebody directly with this, you would only do 10 damage, but the clinger would explode, doing 85 damage to them and anybody around them. So sometimes you would get lucky and hit someone in a squad and they would end up running to their teammates and you would get like 2 or 3 tags of the explosion damage. But overall, like a regular sniper was just better to use, the guaranteed 100 damage body shot. This one did have some good use cases and it was very annoying to get spammed with the boom sniper rifle. So at the very least, it was annoying to fight against, which is why it's a little bit higher on this list. At number 16, we have the Amban sniper rifle. This came out in Chapter 2 with the Mandalorian. There wasn't anything too special about the sniper besides the fact that you could kind of use it an alternate attack. Like you could kind of like lunge at people with it and push them off of things, which did give it some, special use cases where you could make somebody fall to their death. But all it was like a regular sniper with the thermal effect. And I don't think the scope for the sniper was that popular. I feel like the other sniper rifles had much better scopes. But besides like jab and dash ability, it wasn't too special, but it wasn't bad either. At number 15, we have the explosive repeater rifle, and I'm actually glad we got to see this in action just recently. Before the new season updated, they added this to the loot pool. It doesn't do that much direct damage, but the explosive part of it does make it hit pretty hard. You don't even have to be accurate with this thing. If you just shoot near people, you were hitting them for 40 explosive damage, and if you happen to hit them directly, you would hit them for over 100. People were using this to just kind of like pressure people, do damage behind, structures, break people's boxes and builds. So it was kind of like a really fast firing sniper with the explosive addition, making it really frustrating to fight against and getting a lot of guaranteed damage. At number 14, we have the heavy impact sniper rifle. So this gun was pretty good. It was solid. The only thing is that it took a long time to reload, but it did a lot of body shot damage. It's kind of similar to the heavy sniper, but it's different. You would only get 1 shot, 138 body shot damage. But like I said, the big thing about this is it took 3 seconds to reload. So you weren't really using it that much in between shots. You pretty much had to land a really good shot and then swap to your other weapons. At number 13, we have the exotic Dragon's Breath sniper rifle. This one is solid. It's like a normal bolt action, except it also had a fire effect that made things catch on fire, like structures and builds. So if you shot at somebody who was in a box, their entire wooden box would go up in flames and they would start taking fire damage. If they had teammates nearby, the same thing would happen. The only issue with this one is that you sometimes would accidentally shoot your own builds and then end up setting yourself on fire, or you even shoot your opponent's builds in the middle of a build fight and then you can't really walk on their builds without taking damage. It was kind of situational, but when it existed in the game, it was like one of the only snipers available, so people had to use it. It's a solid sniper. At number 12, we have the suppressed sniper rifle. So this is like a normal sniper rifle with the suppression effect. The gold one did 116 body shot damage, which is pretty decent. It has a 2-second reload time, so a little bit faster than the heavy impact. It really just comes down to the preference. This is very similar to the bolt action, besides it doing slightly less damage to the body and having the suppressed effect, which I feel like suppressed effect and suppressors in Fortnite don't really do too much for you. So overall, this is just a very average sniper rifle. At number 11, we have the Excalibur rifle. This is going to count as somewhat of a sniper. This was added in chapter 4, and it's actually a pretty decent weapon to use, both close range and long range. It had the bullet drop, so you have to lead your shot, but if you actually hit somebody with this, you would hit them for 75, and then the explosion would do another 75 damage, so you could hit them for 150 from across the map. It was also really good at just blowing up people's builds. It was just an overall very flexible weapon, and it was used quite a bit, and it was one of my favorite weapons from chapter 4. Now for the top 10. At number 10, we have the classic bolt action sniper rifle, the true OG. It was just a very reliable sniper. 121 body shot damage with the gold rifle, and one shot headshot across the board. Very iconic sniper. A lot of crazy moments from back in the day with Ninja and the OG players using this. You got to put some respect on the OGs. At number 9, we have the Storm Scout Sniper. Now, this one wasn't popular because of its damage. Yes, you could one-shot headshot, but it only did like 90 body shot damage. And it was a little bit hard to use offensively. But the thing about this sniper is that it actually gave you the forecast tower ability before it was even a thing. You could see where the next circle and the next storm was going to be. If this was in the game right now, this would be the number 1 weapon in competitive, which is why it's number 9 on this list. At number 8, we have the semi-auto sniper, but specifically the one that released in chapter 4 OG season. I don't know what they did or why. It only did like 78 body shot damage and you got 10 shots. But for some reason in the OG one, they buffed it to 97 body shot damage on the green rarity and 101 on the blue rarity. And it had a 2.5 headshot multiplier, which means with this semi-auto sniper, you could hit for 250 damage and you had 10 shots to shoot. I don't know why it was that powerful. I think the headshot multiplier was like just incorrect, but they left it in the entire time in Fortnite OG, and it was really strong at wiping out squads, both in build and zero build. At number 7, we have the Falcon Eye Sniper. Yes, this was just added in Chapter 6, Season 2. I'm not sure how this will age, to be honest with you, because we just got this sniper. But it's similar to the Hunter Bolt, and it has 3 shots, but it doesn't do as much damage. See, the thing is, you need at least a gold or a mythic sniper rarity for the Falcon to one-shot headshot somebody in build mode. And in zero build, you can't one-shot headshot anybody. So I'm not too sure. I'm just putting this kind of up on this list a little bit early. We'll see if Epic makes any changes or if it's going to kind of really live up to the hype. We'll have to, check in by next season. No, honestly, guys, I changed my mind. I'm taking this one off this list completely. I don't think it should be number 7 just because it can't one-shot headshot a full health person unless it's gold or mythic. Even though it has 3 shots, I'm not feeling this one. So I'm actually gonna scratch that. It's not number 7. It's more like somewhere in number 15, 16, 17 on this list. We'll have to just skip that one. Let's go into our top 6. At number 6, we have the Hunter Bolt action. So this is actually what the other sniper was trying to be, except this one actually does do 100 body shot damage, and it does one-shot headshot while having 3 bullets. It was super clean to use, really solid, good bullet drop. The gold one did 110 body shot damage, but the most important thing is that it one-shot headshot in build and zero build, making it a very solid sniper. At number 5, we have the iconic heavy sniper rifle. especially in its original form, doing over 150 body shot damage. It could one-shot any structure, wood, brick, or metal, fully built. It didn't matter. This thing was taking it out. It was the ultimate W key weapon. If you got even hit in the body with this thing, you were in critical condition or dead. The only downside was that it had a really long reload time, which was 3.6 seconds. Now, they did end up nerfing this heavy sniper and butchering it, but we're ranking it based off of its pre-nerf capabilities. At number 4, we don't have a sniper. We have the railgun, one of the most unique sniper type weapons added to the game. It got added in Chapter 2, Season 7 with the Alien Season. 90 body shot damage with 190 headshot damage in gold rarity, nearly one-shotting anybody across the map. And it went through structures. It could pierce through one build. So if somebody was hiding behind a tree or a rock or behind a wall, you could just shoot them through the build, through the structure, and do full damage to them, making it very unique and very oppressive, especially if you and your duo were using this sniper. It's also hit scan, so you don't have to lead your shot. You just aim, point, and click, and you will do damage to people guaranteed. At number 3, we have a classic. We have a reliable weapon here, the hunting rifle, and not the most recent one they added in Chapter 6. That doesn't count. I'm talking about the OG hunting rifle. This thing was solid. Very, very fast reload time, 1.8 seconds. One shot headshot across the board. Doesn't have a scope, so you can use it in the close to mid range. Good way to follow up a shot. People hit some insane trick shots with this thing. So many iconic clips like the Tifu Massacre and 50 versus 50. This is the go-to sniper for trick shotters, and a lot of people love when the hunting rifle is in the game in its true form. At number 2, we got the Zapatron. Yes, they actually added this to the game recently for a few days, but we understand why they only put it in for a few days, because this thing was overpowered. It could one-shot any build, any structure at all without even being charged up. And if you did charge it up, you could one-shot anybody with this thing, doing a ton of damage to the body and one-shot headshots. It was hit scan. It had no drop-off damage. You could shoot it from across the map. You had 4 shots before you had to reload. Just absolutely insane weapon. I'm glad we finally got to use it, but it's not number 1 on this list. Number 1 on this list has to be the Chapter 5 Reaper Sniper Rifle. This is probably one of the cleanest snipers Fortnite has ever added to the game. The thing you got to remember is every weapon in Chapter 5 was a projectile, meaning the sniper rifle being projectile wasn't a disadvantage. This thing went crazy. You could customize it. You could put a drum mag on it. With all the attachments on this thing, it was an absolute machine. People were so scared of getting headshot sniped in Chapter 5 because of this sniper. It started a full sniper meta. Nobody was safe when peeking from their box. It was also super easy to use, very satisfying, and guaranteed one-shot headshot across the board with all the different customizations and attachments you can put on it. It was super flexible in every way. That is why it is number 1 on this list. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Let me know what I should rank next in Fortnite. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.